I have a confession to make. I switched to Bear Notes. Hello friends, it's Meg, and today I want to talk to you guys about Bear Notes. In this video, I'll be talking about why I switched to Bear, what I love, what I want to love, what I don't love, and who Bear is for. I'll have the timestamps down below so you can check out the areas that you're interested in. So first off, let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Why did I leave Capacities for Bear? If you've been following my channel for a while now, you would know that I fell in love with a note-taking app called Capacities. In fact, I loved it so much that I made a video on it. I'll link it up in the cards up above so you can check it out if you haven't seen it already. So what happened? The simple and honest answer is that my personal needs changed. I recently went through a pretty big life change, which is that I quit university and I am no longer a student. I actually made a video about why that is. I'll link it up in the cards above if you're interested in my life updates. But because of this big life change, my needs for what I wanted and what I needed in a note-taking app changed. So before anyone incorrectly assumes that I fell out of love with Capacities, absolutely not. That is not the case. I still love Capacities. It's just that because I am no longer a student, what I needed in an app changed and Capacities just wasn't what I was looking for anymore. Which leads me to talk about what I love, what I want to love, and what I don't love about Bear Notes. So let's start with what I love. First and foremost, the simplicity of the app. I've tested out many productivity apps, and many apps fall into this trap of trying to do too many things and becoming this kind of gigantic, clunky solution. But what Bear does that many other apps failed to do is that they keep everything simple. Some may say that Bear is actually a little bit too simple, but I actually think that the simplicity is one of the selling points of the app because it makes you focus on your writing and the content of what you're writing rather than all of the external cosmetic things that many other apps kind of distract you with. And the simplicity is really reflected in its UI as well. It is very easy to use, very simple, and very intuitive. One feature that I really love that I just recently discovered is the fact that you can actually go into focus mode when you press Control-1 on your keyboard. It gets rid of the sidebars so you can really just focus on writing. Another thing that I love about this app is that it's a markdown editor at its very core, which means that all of the files that you create are markdown files. Markdown is a format that I'm very used to writing in, and so that was very comfortable for me. Not to mention, because they allow mass export in the markdown format, you are never locked into Bear. Being able to export your notes in a universal format is often an overlooked feature, but it's a very important one because if anything happens to the app that you're using, or you decide in the future that you want to change note-taking apps, if you are not able to export your notes, you have to start over or go through the process manually, which is a lot of time wasted. So now that I've talked about what I absolutely love about the app, let's talk a little bit about the things that I want to love, but just can't quite say I love yet. The first thing is their ability to link notes. I absolutely love the fact that they have this feature that you can link between different notes. However, I will say the backlinks are a little bit hard to get to. You have to go into the information section where you see like the word count and stuff like that and go into a different panel to check your backlinks. And so I totally understand why they did this because they want to keep their UI simple. You know, it goes with the whole idea of like keeping everything minimal and simple. And so I understand why they did it. It's just a little bit hard to get to, and as someone who came from Capacities and Obsidian, I am very used to seeing my backlinks right front and center, and so I just wish there was a way for me to like toggle on backlinks so that I can see the backlinks much easier. Again, you can check the backlinks. The fact that they can do this is amazing. It's just I wish there was a way to toggle it so that I can see it permanently rather than having to go into a different panel to do that. The other thing that I want to mention is the fact that you organize your files using tags. As a general statement, I love that you can do this because you're not constrained by folders, which means that you can have one note living in multiple places. But I do wish there was a little bit more structure that I can impose onto the organization system, because after you hit a certain amount of notes, the tags gets a little bit confusing and hard to keep track of. And I really don't know what the solution would be for this because, you know, that's kind of their big thing, is that you organize everything using tags. And again, as a general statement, I love that, you know, but I wish there was a better way for me to be able to manage all of the different tags, because it gets a little bit confusing. It gets a little bit complicated once you have a lot of notes. Alright, so now it's time to talk about the things that I don't like about Bear. As a general statement, I love Bear. That's the reason why I switched to it. It's a great app, but there are some things that I do not like. First of all, the fact that they don't have inline math support. Now, because I am no longer a student, this is not relevant for me anymore, which is why I'm using Bear Notes. But as someone who was studying computer science, I can say that not having inline math support is a deal breaker for someone who is in a STEM degree. So if you're in a STEM degree looking for a note-taking app, this is probably not for you. The second thing I don't love about Bear is the fact that they use your iCloud storage in order to sync between devices. I really wish they used their own cloud storage for this, because using iCloud means that it fills up my iCloud storage a lot quicker. Granted, the markdown files do not take up that much space. It's still another thing that I have to keep in mind, you know. And kind of building off of that, the third thing I dislike about this app is the fact that it is a subscription model. Now, I understand why apps use a subscription model. It's a more sustainable business model. It makes sense for development, but given how simple the app is, and again with the whole iCloud storage thing, I really feel like they should make it a one-time payment kind of app, or have an option for it to be a one-time payment. So now that you have a better idea of the pros and cons of what this app can offer you, let's talk a little bit about who can benefit from having Bear as their note-taking app. First of all, and this is a very big condition, is that if you want to use Bear Notes, you have to be an Apple ecosystem user, because this app is only available on the App Store. If you are an Apple ecosystem person, then I think this app is really for someone who's looking for something very simple, but also very powerful. Because if you're just looking for something simple, I'm just going to recommend to you Apple Notes, because that app is actually pretty good. But if you're looking for a little bit more customization, in the sense of like being able to organize using tags and having notes live in multiple places, or if you're looking for the ability to backlink and stuff like that, then I will recommend Bear Notes, because it's a great way to get started with linking your notes without getting too overwhelmed and too in the deep end with the whole structuring a note app thing. So if you're looking for something simple but something that's powerful, then I recommend that you try out Bear Notes. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!